International fixtures cause chaos across League One, as of course many matches have been rescheduled, aka postponed. But what about the games that are going to go ahead? We're going to take a look at those and more next. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're looking forward to match day, what is it, 5 or 6 over in, of course, League, it's 6, of course, over in League 1, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe and keep your bang up to date with all things League 1 related, Buffer Rovers related, world football related. We're going to go here under one Rooski. Right here, right now, the Morecambes lead the charge, 2 points clear over, of course, their nearest and dearest Sheffield Wednesday and Oxford, amongst a chasing pack of others. We'll take a look at that in a minute, of course. Big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons, boys and girls. Big shout out to you guys, my brothers from another mother. Of course, big shout out to you guys. If you want to support the channel in another way, that's the best place to do it. From as little, from like $1, $1, all the way to as much as you like. If you want to go $1 million, go ahead. Of course, support the channel in another way. Become a new best mate for life. We're up to the teens right now. We can do with a bit more to, of course, boost the channel and beyond. But anyway, let's get cracking. Of course, only a limited amount of games going on this week, but we're going to talk about it anyway. There we go. Let's jump in the deep end and have a little look then, shall we? Of course, let's go back, of course, situation, of course, for the last round of matches. Sunderland took on Wycombe last round and they won 3-1 win. Of course, Wycombe doing all right, but of course, hit a bit of a skinny patch there. 3-1 win in the end for the Morecambes, 2-1 win for me, not too shabby. Burton, of course, hit a bit of a patch there. 1-0 win for me. They did only draw with Cheltenham. Meanwhile, Cambridge picked up a win against Bolton. 1-0 win as well. I went with the draw on that as well, so pretty shit. Charlton got back to winning ways at long last. 2-0 win over Crewe. 2-1 win for me. Morecambe also surprised us all with a 1-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday. That's right. Maybe, just maybe, the Morecambe are going to be at this level for a little bit. They might be the new Accrington Stanley. Ipswich Town picked up a draw against AFC Wimbledon. 2-2 in the end. 2-0 win was my pick. MK Dons 2-0 winners over Accrington Stanley. I went with a 2-1 win myself as well, so Accrington Stanley took a tumble there. Oxford United against Lincoln was a 3-1 win for Oxford, of course, going up into the top of the top 5 there for them. Lincoln City in a bit of trouble, just sold a player to Rovers, of course, happy with that. Plymouth Argyle against Fleetwood ended up as a 1-1 draw there. Big, I thought I went with Plymouth myself, so a bit shitty. Rotherham against Doncaster was a 2-0 win for Rotherham. I went with a 3-1 win. Shrewsbury picked up a W against Gillingham, 2-1 win as well. I went with a 0-0. And Wigan against Pompey was a 1-0 win. I went with a 2-2 draw myself. So a big win for Wigan, of course. We'll see where that puts them. Actually, Wigan up to 4th right now in that chasing pack, alongside Pompey and Wycombe and Burton in that top 7. Doncaster, Crewe, Shrewsbury and Ipswich right now going down. Cookies boys are in a bit of trouble, so they'll need to turn the tide. They need to spend a bit of money as well. Ed Sheeran, get your money out, son. Get your bloody money out. Of course, the transfer window has slammed shut, but of course, get your bloody money out somehow. That's the situation, of course, as it stands. Morecambe doing pretty up, then 14th. Bolton up there as well. It's very interesting. That's all I can say. Very, very interesting. Anyway, let's kick it on forward. Let's take a look at the prediction league. I don't know, what did I get? 4. But of course, the kingpin is Connor Medlin. Well done to you, lad. Manager of the week. What's that done to the overall situation for the month? Who is the official manager of the month? Of course, it is Deepak the Great, 31. Look at that, 2-point clearance of MCO back. Alex Weller, Russell Frost, Connor Medlin as well. He is your official predictor of the month for League One. That's right, of course. What's that done? What does that mean? We'll talk about that soon, of course. I need a... We're going to do something. I had plans to do something. I don't know exactly how we're going to do this or whatever, but I'm still trying to figure out last year's gifts and getting those sorted out. But we'll talk about this soon. Hopefully, very soon. Anyway, of course, this is the situation with the new static link, cutleague/League One. Gets you here all the time, gets your prediction links all the time. So just remember that, bookmark it, you know, and then you're in like Flynn. But also make sure you come back and watch the video and I'll give you some data just like this. Let's get into the thick of things, shall we? Of course, only a few of these matches. I've got 6 games out of the 12 are going to go ahead. I've given you predictions for all 12. The link will show you all 12. Of course, when it comes back around to double match weeks and all that kind of shit, then we will adjust it. But anyway, one of the games that will go ahead will be Accrington Stanley against Shrewsbury. Of course, played each other 23 times, 2003, 5 wins for Accrington, 12 wins for Shrewsbury, 6 draws. Of course, 2-0 win was the biggest win for Accrington, 4-0 win was the biggest win for Shrewsbury. Heading into this, last time played each other in Accrington was a 1-1 draw. It's actually been back-to-back draws between the two sides, and of course both home and away. Last time the home side won was back in 2018 when Accrington picked up a win against Shrewsbury. Heading into this, Accrington, of course, not great for them. Of course, back-to-back defeats, losing Oldham in the cup, losing to Milton Keynes Dons as well. Prior to that, it was a back-to-back 4 wins on the spin, and then beating Rotherham, beating Cambridge, beating Doncaster, and of course Crewe. On the flip side, Shrewsbury coming to us on the back of a win, of course beating Gillingham after a bit of a ropey start for them over in League One. Look at the odds on this one. We have even Steves, so Accrington 14-5 is your Shrewsbury, 12-5 is your draw. I'm going to go with Accrington on this one with a 2-0 win to take it to the house and of course get back to winning ways. Bolton against Burton will go ahead. It's actually on Monday, September the 6th, of course, but it goes ahead. Played the 5 times 2015. No wins for Bolton, of course, 4 wins for Burton, of course, 1 draw. The one and only, or one of the biggest wins, of course, for Burton was the 2-0 win, sorry. Over Bolton. Last time picture in Bolton was a 7-goal thriller going in favour of Burton. It was 4-3 in the end back in January 2020, of course, in League One. Of course, Bolton coming to us on the back of a defeat to Cambridge. Prior to that, lost to Wigan, of course, in the Cup. Before that, they beat Oxford, they beat Lincoln. So they had a good run, but of course, they found themselves in mid-table. On the flip side, Burton, of course, had a fantastic start to the campaign, beating Shrewsbury, beating Ipswich, beating Sunderland, losing those Cambridge, and of course, only picking up a draw against Cheltenham last time around. Look at the odds on this one. We have 23-20 is your Bolton, 11-5 is your Burton, of course, 5-2 is the draw. I'm going to go with Bolton on this one, 1-0 win, get back to winning ways, Burton in a bit of a stink, and they need to get that sorted out pretty quick time. Next up, we have Cheltenham, we're up against MK Bloody Dons. Played the 6 times 2008, 1 win for Cheltenham, 5 wins at MK, no draws, of course, 3-1 win was the biggest win for Cheltenham, 3-0 win was the biggest win for MK Dons on this one. Last time around, of course, in Cheltenham was a 3-1 win back in December 2018 in League 2. Yeah, there's been some goals over the course of these matches, averaging over 3 goals a game, probably even say around about 4 goals a game on here. Between these two sides. In fact, you look at the goals, average goals per game ratio, 3.67 goals a game ratio for Milton Keynes Dons over Cheltenham. On the flip side, averaging 2 goals a game against them as well. Goodness gracious me. Anyway, of course, heading into this, Cheltenham picking up not bad form at the moment. In the last 3 league games, 1 lost, 1 drew 1. MK Dons coming to this, not bad form as well. Out of the last 3, winning 2, drawing 1. So actually, the past 4 games, 1-1. Lost 1-2, lost 1, drew 1 as well. The odds on this one, we have MK Dons coming at you, 9-5 for the victory. The underdog, 7-5 is your Cheltenham, 12-5 is your draw. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Cheltenham on this one. I do like MK Dons, but I don't, you know what I mean. I think they'll probably be a stronger side on this one, but I think just a little bit of lady luck going in favour of Cheltenham on this one, 2-1 win. In the end, Crewe will take on a Morecambe, or will they? Of course, I don't see them on here, so we don't have any. I don't see them. I think that match is going to be postponed, so I'm not going to really talk about the data. But I'm going to give you my pick just in case some magic happens. I would have went with a 1-0 win at this current rate of form, current situation. A 1-0 win for Morecambe. Doncaster will take on Cambridge, or will they? That's another one that looks to be postponed. Let me just confirm this because I'm looking a little bit concerned. We did say it's only a handful of matches. Yeah, in fact, it looks like there's only 4 matches and it could be 6. But anyway, if it does go ahead, that's what we're going to do. We're not really going to go into 2-0 win in the end for Doncaster if it goes ahead. I don't think it will go ahead, but regardless, that's the situation I've got. I think they just postponed the Sunderland Sheffield Wednesday game, even though it's on here. But anyway, we're going to keep talking on a little bit. The next one is Gillingham up against Charlton. Yet another match that I think is postponed. Of course, you wouldn't expect it in League One to cancel all these games. But anyway, again, I'm not going to talk about it. I would have went with a 3-1 win for Gillingham if it was to go ahead. Again, it doesn't look like it's going to go ahead, of course. Next up, we have Fleetwood Town against Wigan. I believe this game will go ahead. However, I also might be postponed. I'm looking at 2 different places. One has it, one doesn't have it. But we're going to talk about it like it goes ahead because I've got the stats, got the numbers. Let's get into it. Of course, they played each other, of course, 8 times in 2015. Of course, 5 wins for Wigan, 1 win for Fleetwood, 2 draws. That's right. Of course, biggest win for Fleetwood over Wigan, 3-2 win. The biggest win in the way is a 4-0 win. Last time around, of course, over at Fleetwood was a what was it? It was a 1-1 draw back in December 2020. Of course. Fleetwood. In fact, Wigan's last win was a 4-0 win over Fleetwood back in 2018. It's been a while since that. Fleetwood coming to this on the back of an okay sort of run. The last 3 1-1, lost 1, drew 1. Wigan coming to this on the back of a pretty decent run. The last 5 games, just a 1, no defeats. They actually 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in the past 5 games and a draw against Wycombe as well. One of those wins is in the League Cup against Bolton, of course. Look at the odds on this one. 90-10 is your Fleetwood, 21-10 is your draw, 6-4 is your away win. That is Wigan. Again, it could go ahead, it might not go ahead, but if it does go ahead, I'm going to go with the 2-1 win for Fleetwood. against the form book. Is it against the odds? It might be against the odds. It's very tight in the odds as well. Next up we have Lincoln up against Rotherham. Again, I believe this one, I'm going to double check. This one looks like it's postponed, but I'm going to talk about it. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. I'll give you my pick. It's a 2-2 draw in the end on this one. Next up we have the South Coast Derby, and again, I think this one's also been kiboshed or rearranged for another day. I'm going to go with on this as well. A 3-1 win for Pompey if it was to go ahead, but I don't think it was. Now, again, we do have Sheffield Wednesday against Sunderland. I did hear yesterday that this game doesn't go ahead, but I'm going to talk about it. I've got the odds. I've got some data for you anyway. Played each other 9 times in 996, 3 wins to Sheffield Wednesday, 4 wins to Sunderland, 2 draws. I even have odds for this game, so you know that's why I'm indifferent on this one. Sheffield Wednesday, biggest winner for them over Sunderland, 2-0 win. The biggest win here was a 4-2 win. Heading into this, of course, last time around at Hillsborough, between these two sides was a 1-1 draw back in August 2017. That was in the Championship, of course. Heading into this, Sheffield Wednesday, not bad, winning 3 of the past 4 games, losing to Morecambe last time around. Meanwhile, Sunderland come to this, winning 3 of the past 4 as well. And in fact, you won 3 on the bounce, finally looking like the real bloody deal Sunderland. I do have odds on this one. It's 13-10 for Sheffield Wednesday, 29-10 is your Sunderland, 11-5 is your draw. So the bookies are probably going to go with Sheffield Wednesday. Again, it doesn't look like it's going to go ahead, but for the time being, I have odds. I'm going to give you a 2-1 win for Sheffield Wednesday for me. Into the final 2 now. We have Wimbledon up against Oxford. Of course, Oxford doing very, very well for themselves. Wimbledon having an okay start to the season. Played 24 times since 2009. 5 wins for Wimbledon, 16 wins for Oxford, 3 draws. The biggest win for Wimbledon. No, Oxford 3-1 win. The biggest win there is a 5-0 win. Last time I played, of course, over in Wimbledon was a 2-1 win. That's back in April 2021. Of course, Wimbledon coming to this, just 1 defeat in the past 5 games, of course. In fact, 6 games. Is that right? Yeah, 1 defeat. That 1 defeat was against Sunderland. Of course, a lot of draws knocking around. As for the opposition, of course, Oxford, just 1 win in 3 for them. That's in all competitions as well. They did beat Lincoln last round. They did lose to QPR, who are a bit of a weapon these days. On the flip side of the odds on this one, we have 21-10 is your Wimbledon 5-2 is your 65 is your way win. That is Oxford United on this. For me, again, if it goes ahead, it looks like it will. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Wimbledon. Upset the apple cart on this one. Of course, back the crazy boys, that is Wimbledon. And then finally is Wycombe against Ipswich. I am seeing that this one's also postponed, so we're not gonna break this sucker down as well. If it was to go ahead, my gut would have went with Ipswich, finally get the win on the table, but of course it looks like it's a waiting game for that. That's my picks. Be sure to get your picks as well. I believe there's 4, 5, 6 games up for offering. We'll look at it anyway when we come back around for the next round of matches. But that's it, my friends. But of course, get your pick in right here, right now. Of course, all points matter on this one. Of course, give the video some love in as well. Cutley4/1. Or whatever it's, Cutley4/League 1. That's it, of course, the static link. Give the video some love and smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe. Check out those links down below. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well if you want to support the channel in another way. Until then, I'll see you soon for the next. We are done.